I've had a message sort of prepared for a little while now, and been putting off putting the name down to come up, but I've finally done it. I'm here, right. I'd like to start with reading Psalm 62. For those of you who don't know, I absolutely love the Psalms. I think it's just, if you want a bit of upliftment, I go to the Psalms. I'll read this out. Everybody ready? My soul finds rest in God alone. My salvation comes from Him. He alone is my rock and my salvation. He is my fortress, I will never be shaken. How long will you assault a man? Would all of you throw him down, this leaning wall, this tottering fence? They fully intend to topple him from his lofty place. They will take delight in lies. With their mouths they bless, but in their hearts they curse. Find rest, O my soul, in God alone. My hope comes from Him. He alone is my rock and my salvation. He is my fortress, I will not be shaken. My salvation and my honour depend on God. He is my mighty rock, my refuge. Trust in Him at all times, O people. Pour out your hearts to Him, for God is our refuge. Low-born men are but a breath, the high-born are but a lie. If weighed on a balance, they are nothing. Together, they are only a breath. Do not trust in extortion or take pride in stolen goods. Though your riches increase, do not set your heart on them. One thing God has spoken, two things have I heard, that you, O God, are strong, and that you, O Lord, are loving. Surely you will reward each person according to what he has done. Now that in itself, it's a great psalm, but I'm focusing specifically on verse 8. And the NIV version, pour out your hearts to Him. And I was looking in the Youth Bible, and in the Youth Bible it says, tell Him all your problems. You know, God wants us to go to Him with everything. He doesn't want you to wait until things are just so big. He wants you to go to Him with the little things. Nothing's too small for God. You know, God is a loving Father, and He wants to help us through everything. You know, there's times in your life where you wake up and it's, I just don't feel like getting up today, Lord. I need a bit of help. You know, it's something small, but I find in myself there are days where everything seems to be going wrong. One thing after another. I get called up from work, can you go to this person? And it's like, well, where's my break? You know, but I look to God in those moments and think, God, I know you can give me rest in my work. There are times when I say, I really don't feel like doing this call. I really don't. And then something will happen, and I'll get to a call where I've got to take a lady shopping. And she says, I don't feel like going shopping today. Do you mind just making me a cup of tea and sitting down and having a chat with me? And it's like, thank you. I shouldn't say that, but you do get those moments, you know. Sometimes we try to deal with the little things by ourselves. You know, it's something small, so we don't think, it's all right, I can handle it. But then it starts to get bigger, it starts to grow, and you start thinking, it's okay, I'm all right, I can still handle it. And there's a point where things can just get out of hand. Now, Proverbs 3, verses 5 to 6. I'm sure you all know this one. Verse 5. Chapter 3, verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and he will make your path straight. Now sometimes when we take it upon ourselves to do things, if we believe that this is the way we should be going, that's not necessarily the way we should. Take Jacob. His mother knew that he had a blessing to come, and she pushed for him to get a blessing, and he ended up getting the blessing that wasn't his. When we try to do things ourselves, we can sometimes find that we go down the wrong path. Yet God, if we turn to God, he'll always be there for us, and he can put us back on the right path. So if we go to God in the first place, things can be sorted out before we go down that wrong path. And there's times though that things do get on top of us and we feel downhearted. Bob's given me permission to read out Maureen's poem. Now Maureen is in hospital right now, she's quite ill, but with God's grace she'll be hopefully coming home Tuesday, did you say? Yeah. So this is Maureen's poem. You can't tell tears what to do, no matter how hard you try. Stopping their flow seems to make them grow, for they've nowhere else to go. So flow, and they flow. And they make your eyes sore, and your nose needs to blow. And just when you think there's an end, the tears come back again, and so does the flow. You can't tell tears what to do. They only know how to flow. They only know where to go. Down the nose, and then you can blow. They don't know when it's time to stop crying. They don't know when your heart says enough, I feel like dying. They only know how to flow, so they do. Now, that poem, it's a cry from the heart. You don't need to pray long prayers. God hears the cries of your heart. And God will work miracles when you pour out your heart to him. In Luke 18, verses 1 to 8, I've got a lot of Bible verses, I hope you don't mind. I've only got 2 pages of notes, but it's just bullet points, so be prepared. Okay. Then Jesus told his disciples a parable to show them that they should always pray and not give up. He said, in a certain town there was a judge who neither feared God nor cared about men. And there was a widow in that town who kept coming to him with a plea, grant me justice against my adversary. For some time he refused, but he said to himself, even though I don't fear God or care about men, yet because this widow keeps bothering me, I will see that she gets justice, so that she won't eventually wear me out with her coming. And the Lord said, listen to what the unjust judge said. And will not God bring about justice for his chosen ones who cry out to him day and night? Will he keep putting them off? I tell you, he will see that they get justice, and quickly. However, when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on this earth? Be persistent in your prayers. Just because we don't always get an answer straight away doesn't mean that it isn't coming. But we shouldn't stop praying. Sometimes we feel downhearted and we start to think to ourselves, did God really say that this is going to happen? Am I on the right path? Am I doing the right things? Should I have said something else to somebody? Should I be praying for this person? Should I be... Take it to God in prayer. God wants us to look to him always. there's times when the doubts set in, and I think that there are times when the enemy comes and he whispers in your ear, you know, you don't really think that God's going to come along and sort out your finances, do you? You really don't think that God's going to help you through the rest of the day, you know. And I do feel that I've done it myself. I have sat and despaired because I just think to myself, everything's getting on top of me. Why am I bothering? And then I listen to the little voice that says, well, God's not listening to you. But I just want everybody to know God is always listening, no matter what. Psalms, again the Psalms, 125. And verse 1. Those who trust in the Lord are like Mount Zion, which cannot be shaken, but endures forever. I like that because if you trust in God, whatever comes against you, no matter how small, how big, you won't be shaken because you put in your trust in God. You know, troubles can trouble you. But if you're trusting in God, there won't be a trouble. Because worrying as they may be, God wants you to just believe. Learn to recognise that the whisperings that tell you that everything's hopeless, that it's just wrong. Anything that takes you away from believing that God is going to be there for you is from the enemy. So come against it in prayer. Just think to yourself, stop thinking that everything's hopeless. Look to God and pray, and God will be with you. And my final verse is going to be from 2 Samuel 22, and just verse 7. Although I do like all of this. It's a good chapter. Just read the whole chapter in your own time, but just verse 7. In my distress, I called to the Lord. I called out to my God. From his temple, he heard my voice, and my cry came to his ears. Just simply talk to God.